Alrighty, I think we're good. I think we're live. We'll see how all this goes. Guys, if you're watching this, thank you so much for jumping on board. It's going to be a little bit choppy to get started because I've actually got to bring Remy into this call. So bear with us for just 1 second. I'm going to try and make sure that everything goes well here and that I can see everything. All right, let's try and get Remy on board and see what we can do. Patrick, Kaylee, thank you for jumping on board, guys. This is the real one, by the way, guys. I am here. I'm just behind the camera, just waiting for Remy to jump on board. And as soon as he's in, then I can add him and we can get started. All right, we'll see how we go here. All right, again, guys, I am here. Today is going to be the Marketing Facebook Live with my guest, Remy, live. I just have to wait for him to jump online, and unfortunately, I've got to get behind the camera to do that, so bear with me for 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Hey, I tell you what, guys, if you, let me see, can I add Remy in now? Here we go. Add. Board. Will the gods of technology be shining upon us today? Here he is.
All right.
There he is.
I'm
There's
here.
the man. Okay.
How's it going?
Good stuff, man. Let me just check on my feed. I can see you're there. Let me make sure that I'm here. I'm trying to look at the camera and look at the feed here. Here we go. Okay. I think we're good to go. How you doing, Remy?
Good. How's it going? Good to be here.
Very well, buddy. Thank you so much for taking the time.
With pleasure.
All right, let's just jump straight into it, guys, because I know a lot of you guys who are watching are very, very keen to know, what did we call this one? The one marketing secret. So for those who don't know Remy, guys, my guest today is Remy Meyer. He is the owner of Max Out Your Gym. Look, I've talked to a lot of marketing gurus, marketing experts over the years, and every single one I've talked to so far has been absolutely full of shit. Our conversations barely left the ground. We don't even get to the point of what they do because the methods, the ethics and morals behind how they do it, why they do it, did not sit well with me. So you can imagine my surprise when I got on the phone last week with Remy, and we ended up chatting for, I think, over an hour. And what surprised me and what delighted me was Remy's approach to marketing being a lot more focused around doing things right, around the ethics, whether it's just the his general approach to the idea of marketing, or whether it's specifically the tactics used, the actual what buttons to press, what to say and how of the marketing. Very much impressed me. So anyone who's been working with me for a long time knows how skeptical I am of marketing gurus. So the fact that we've got one here today in our Facebook Live, is a big deal. So Remy, thank you so much for coming to have a chat, buddy.
Yeah, with pleasure. So yeah, I believe that we really align on our values, ethic. We want to do things ethically, and also we want to be sustainable. And that's what I'm trying to build with Max Out Your Gym, a system, a marketing and sales system that is not going to work for just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, but a system that is going to work for years and years and years. So there is no bullshit. There is no gimmicks. We just want to speak the truth.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I love it, man. I love it. So let me just bring this up so I can see if anyone is commenting. Okay, cool. So I'm excited, man, because what you're here today, I think, to teach us is all of the Facebook hacks, all of the one thing that you can do to 10 times your revenue through Facebook, all of the ways to sell Fit Body Bootcamp style 16 days for $16 challenges, all of those sneaky, that's what you're here to teach us, right? This is the marketing stuff. That's what you're all about, yeah?
Absolutely not. No. There is no hack. There is no gimmick. It's not because you use a free bait and switch 6-week challenge that you're gonna max out your gym. It's not because you use a free 2-week trial that you're gonna max out your gym. It's not because you're like, hey, type the names of 3 of your friends so that you have a chance to get a flight to Hawaii, or there is no marketing trick. Actually, the trick for me is being ethical and actually providing love to your clients. So what do I mean by that? If you really love your prospects already, right? They are part of your audience. They opt in on your marketing funnel. If you already love them, well, you don't offer them like this kind of bullshit offer where you actually lie and you say, hey, it's free, and then they show up and actually it's not free, it's $500 or $600.
Yes. The old
Do
bait
you
and
really
switch.
want to, right? Do you really want to build a business based on a lie? Not really. That's not how you want to start a relationship with your clients.
For sure.
Do you really want to make them show up for a group close and actually you don't get to know them and you actually never get to know them? Not really. I believe that it's much better to have a talk with them, right? You get to know them. You offer them a consultation. The only thing free that we do at Max Archer Gym, well, it's a free consultation so that we build rapport on a human level.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. I love it. And, you know, it's so important because we're talking to the right market here. I honestly believe, you know, there's a big reason why, I don't know about yourself, but I don't work with Globo gyms. I don't work with, you know, big gyms, usually traditional gyms. I very rarely work with personal trainers outside of kind of the functional fitness, strength and conditioning space. And the reason is because that industry, the wider fitness industry, is generally unethical. I think, you know, they're generally full of shit. They're generally they're the ones who, if I say, look, here is a marketing strategy, it's going to get you 1,000 members. Okay, look, 2 of them are going to die along the way, but you're going to have 998 left. The most of the market will go, hey, that's awesome, cool. You know, throw a few people to the lions, but we get 900 members. What I love about the CrossFit or the functional fitness or you know, the micro gym, whatever you want to call it, our community, is if I said that, you know, people would tell me to get out of there immediately. You know, no one would listen to me because we come from a place of ethics, from morals, of integrity, of caring, of, as you say, love, right?
Yeah.
What I find really sad then is, you know, it's very easy to be ethical and follow your morals when things are going well. You know, what makes me upset is when I see boxers that aren't doing so well and they start to get desperate. And then, you know, a marketing guru will come out and go, hey, you know, here's the special secret sauce. You are going to have to lie to people. You are going to have to sell something that isn't really what you do and then try and bait and switch. You are going to have to ask people to do things that's uncomfortable. You know, they ask you to bend your morals a little bit. And unfortunately, these box owners that started out from a place of love and care and integrity, actually, you know, they think that's the only way. And so they end up, you know, sacrificing their ethics. And that really upsets me. And as you know, that you don't need to do that, right?
Absolutely not. Actually, it's the last thing that you should do. For instance, recently I had a call, you know, with a gym owner, and he was like, "Oh, so I just reduced my prices, so now I'm the cheapest in town." Okay, I don't think it's a great idea. And so I'm only looking for a ClickFunnels template so that I can now save my gym. I only have 1 month to save my gym until I close the doors. I'm like, it's not about a ClickFunnels template. First, how good is your delivery? The answer was 7 out of 10. I was like, well, first, let's fix your delivery. You need to have a good gym, because a marketing system, at least my marketing system, is going to only magnify the truth. If you have a good gym, my system is going to work like magic. If you don't have a good gym and you think that you're just a 7 out of 10, well, first fix your delivery and then we're going to work on your marketing. So first, work with Tye, right? And then come to me, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have a good gym, well, we're going to magnify that. We're going to magnify the fact that you have a shitty gym. It's going to hurt more than help, right?
Yeah. Most of these boxes, you know, when they come to us and they say, man, we you know, help us with marketing, we really need 50 more members. Like that's like saying, my back squat is all messed up. You know, my knees are collapsing and my back is collapsing. You know, everything's just a mess. You know what I need? I need to throw an extra 100 kilos on. That's what'll help. Because you know, if you don't have the structure to maintain the load that you currently have, and it's so easy to measure this, like whether we're talking about, like you said, conversion rates or the delivery rate of the system, or, you know, we could measure that in terms of short-term and long-term retention. If that's not on board, what is the point of pouring more water into this bucket if the bucket has
Exactly.
holes all through it, you know. And
Yeah.
what people forget is it's not like you get to click your fingers and marketing happens. You know, no matter how you do it, it requires resources, it requires time, it requires money. And the idea of throwing that money out there and throwing that time and effort out there when you don't have the structure to support the members you have, let alone the new members you want. Because the funny thing is, a lot of people, when they get to the point of desperation or even just, you know, wanting to get help with marketing, it's because they've plateaued.
Yeah.
And they confuse, and we see it every time. It's either around 60, 100, 120, or 150 members, plus or minus 10. That's where we always see people plateauing, right? Um, and it makes sense because, you know, they're kind of the growth spurts of the gym from an operational and a leadership kind of phase, you know. And so things change, and if you don't change along with them, then you plateau. You know, you only have the operational capacity for 60 members, and so you might
Yeah.
get 5 more, but you lose 5. And so again, people think that, oh, we've plateaued, we need help with marketing. Again, it has nothing to do with your leads. It has everything to do with the like you said, what are you offering? How good is it? How well can
Yeah.
you keep people? How well can you onboard them? And I think this is why we vibed when we talked the other week, is because you're not just about, hey, I'll get you 1,000 leads. They mean fuck all, but I'll get you them.
The goal is actually to get not just leads, but leads that convert into an appointment that
Right.
convert into
Yeah.
a show that converts into a client that converts into a client that stays for a very long time,
Yeah.
right? So
Absolutely, man.
I'm not about leads. I'm about generating clients that stay for a long time. So sure, you could do a $21 challenge for 21 days, and sure, you might attract 100 new clients. But first, if you attract 100 new clients and boom, they all start at the same time, how good will be your delivery? If you
Exactly.
have plus 100, not that good. They might come
Yep.
one to the first or the second or the third workout. They're just gonna see it's a mess, and then they never show up. They're not gonna come for 21 days, right? Then they're just gonna give up. They're gonna say, yeah, that gym is not that good. It was only 21 bucks. They don't have that much skin in the game. They're gonna be like, okay, I came for 1 or 2 or 3 workouts. Now I give up. They didn't get a transformation, right? They didn't really appreciate the gym. They don't stay. So be careful. You know, here I just want to tell gym owners to be careful when you see other, marketing gurus be like 100 new leads, 100 new clients in 2 weeks. Okay, how many stayed and how much did you generate? Because if you do 100 times 21, well, it's not that much money, right?
Yeah.
100 clients times 21, well, that's 2,100 bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do that with 3 clients or 4, you know.
Exactly.
So, and those 3 clients, they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay for a long time. And it's much easier to handle 3 clients than to handle 100, right? That are not gonna finish the 21-day challenge. You just want to attract quality members instead of a bunch of leads that don't stay.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man, for sure. And, you know, I think the problem with leads is people get caught up on vanity metrics. You know, that you want a number that makes you feel good. You want a number that makes you feel like you achieved something. And getting caught up about saying that you want to be successful and you want to grow your membership base, and then talking about how many leads you got, that's like saying, I want to go to the CrossFit Games. I'm going to be the fittest in the world. And it's all because check out these new Nikes that I got. Check out these new Metcons that I just got. You know, again, that has nothing to do with this. That's a cool metric that might make you feel good. It'll blind you from all of the other metrics that you should actually be looking at, whether they're
Yeah.
marketing and conversion or whether it's, you know, the rest of the business. But people want to get
Yeah.
caught up in, you know, whether it's the number of leads they got off a campaign, or whether it's just, you know, how many likes, shares, comments they got versus the actual effect that had on
Yeah.
people. So, yeah, man, people
Other
have got to be real careful.
Yeah, other marketing gurus that they are going to show you the metrics they want to show you, and they're gonna hide the other ones.
Yeah.
If they can generate a bunch of leads, they're like, oh,
Yep.
so many leads, but okay, how
Yep.
many clients? Or they might be able to get clients, but also they spent $8,000 on Facebook ads. What's
Yeah.
the ROI actually? I'm all
Exactly.
about actually optimizing the return on your investment.
For
Yeah.
sure, man. Now, I know you can't say this because you're a very polite guy, you're a very nice guy, and you would never say this. So I'm going to say this for you. Fuck all of those other marketing gurus. They're full of shit. They're trying to take your money. They're trying to feed you nonsense. They're going to get you leads. They're going to get you low quality leads that either don't convert or even worse, they do convert and you're not ready for it. And then here's the way I see it, right? If your operational capacity, and at the end of the day, that's what my company is about, right? Building your operational capacity, what you can handle, and how you can handle it. If your operational capacity is set, right? So it's this coffee cup, right? This awful McDonald's coffee cup. You can keep pouring water into it. You're not going to have any more water than you did before, right? Once you hit that capacity, which most boxes are at, again, if you're plateaued, you're at your operational capacity. I can keep pouring water into it. It's just going to pour water out, right? I'm not going to end up with a net gain. It'll always balance itself out. And
Yeah.
moreover, I'm pouring old water out, right? And in your gym, that's your legacy members. That's the members that have been with you for the longest, that trust you, that love you, that bring people, that refer people, and that maintain your culture. Right.
Yeah.
So when I bring in all of these new people, because I just did a Groupon or a $16 for 5 year freaking bait and switch nonsense that some guy who made me wear a mustache to look like him told me to do, all of a sudden, not dropping names, all of a sudden, all I'm doing is pushing out all of my old members, right? And because the culture changes and your business can't handle any more members, but you're trying to. It's the same as going from juggling 2 balls to trying to juggle 6 balls, right? You're going to drop them. And not only that, because these were low quality leads, you've lost all of your old members, and now you're about to lose all of your new members because they weren't the right people for you. It's this tricky thing of whether you're doing CrossFit or functional fitness or whatever. CrossFit is for everyone, but not everyone's for CrossFit. And we do need a very specific kind of person. And the person who's chasing these low quality offers, these Groupon type offers, is generally not the right person for us long term. And so what you're left with is you've gone from having 100 members, but now you've lost a bunch of the old ones, and eventually you're going to lose a bunch of the new ones. So you've gone from 100 members down to 40, and you're standing there with your dick in your hand and pie in your face. And this isn't a hypothetical. This is what I've seen again and again and again. And that's why I say from the bottom of my heart, fuck those marketing gurus that sell this, because they ruin gyms. And when you ruin a gym, you're not just ruining a business, you're ruining that person's life. I've seen, I've been doing this a long time. I've seen too many, husbands and wife get divorced because of the stresses of the gym, because of shit like this. I've seen coaches who've lost their jobs and therefore lost their livelihoods. And obviously, we've got all of the members that could have changed their lives and lived longer, healthier lives that now won't or are less likely to. So, when I say,
I speak with a lot of gym owners that use the free bait and switch 6-week challenge.
Yeah.
And then they come to me and they're like, hey, it's not working anymore. Sure, I got a bunch of new clients the first month or the first 2 months or the first 3 months. But then you go look at their Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews, Google reviews, and the people are like, it's a scam. They just want your money. They don't care about you. It's a scam. It's free. Actually, they say it's free. Actually, it's not free. So sure, it's a nice magic pill that works for a few months, but then be careful with the reviews you're gonna get.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. And when it comes to leads, people seem to think that it's endless. You've got to remember that even if you're in a big city, there's only a small percentage of people in that city that want to do what you do, can afford what you do. Like what we do, it's high cost, it's high investment of time and energy. It's hard to get started. It's not for everybody, right? So only a small percentage of your population want to do whatever it is you do. And then, you've got to look at your market share. If there's 10 boxes in your area, then, let's assume equal market share. You only have 1/10 of that market now. So you can't just keep burning through these leads. You have to, and this comes back to your whole love people, love your leads. You have to treat the leads with respect because it's not an endless bag of leads, right? Eventually, your reputation in the community will be ruined. Eventually, you'll have no more people that want these nonsense deals. You know, it has a
I mean,
long-term effect.
it's good to have an abundance mindset, thinking
Mm-hmm.
that the leads are abundant, but
Mm-hmm.
actually not really. I mean, you're
Yeah.
still in a small pond. It's maybe
Yeah.
a 5 mile radius around your gym.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have 100,000 people or 200,000 people in that 5 mile radius. So
Yeah.
sure, it's pretty abundant, but
Yeah.
after a while, well, it's still a small pond. So you got to be careful with your actually your reputation, your
For
branding,
sure.
and yeah.
Absolutely, man. All right. So we've spent all this time talking about what not to do. We've talked about, you know, the wrong way to do things. So why don't you talk to us now about the right way to do things? So I come to you, I say, Remy, I need help. I've got my systems in place. So that's step one, right? Make sure you've got your systems. You've got your culture, your team, your systems, your operational capacity. I'm ready for new members, Remy. Help me get them. How do we do it?
Yeah, so first, when I speak with a gym owner, first I want to make sure that they're ready for it. So one of the first questions I ask is, what if in 2 weeks you have 6, 7, 8 one-on-one consultation at the gym? Can you handle it?
Yep.
If they tell me no, I'm like, well, then we're not a fit. If you can't handle consultations, if you can't sit
Yep.
with prospects, then, I mean, you're not ready. Get your systems ready. The other day I had another call, and the gym owner was not working at the gym. He was actually in a different state. And I was like, well, you have a general manager then? No, I don't have a general manager. I don't work at the gym. I'm like,
Right.
so it's only your coaches handling the gym? Yeah. I was like, okay, all right. So who is the sales guy here? Well, I don't have any. I'm like, well, then we can't work together.
You're in trouble.
You gotta be ready for it.
Yeah.
So that's the first question I ask. And then the right way to do it, yeah, it's, you just want to provide love. So it's kind of like dating. I see a lot of gym owners, being like, hey, let's get you scheduled for the free class. Okay, what about if you ask them for their name? What about if you ask them how they are doing? What about if you ask them about their struggles, their family life, what's going on? What about if you actually connect with them on a deeper level, on a human level? So
Yeah.
it's like dating. You don't want to consider them as a lead. You want to consider them as a human being that is struggling, and you are here to actually help them see the higher version of themselves that they can't even see.
Beautiful.
So
We use this exactly same analogy all the time, the whole, dating analogy, because I think a lot of people, when they get desperate, especially, they see a lead and all they can think is close that lead,
or
right?
money,
And
or yeah.
exactly. So as soon as, and I know a lot of people teach this, right? So, as soon as you get that lead, you want to sign them up on a membership, and then you get them in for your on-ramp or your intro or whatever like that, right? And obviously conversion rates are way lower for that kind of thing because, you're jumping the gun. I liken it to you're at the bar, you see a pretty girl and you go up, say, hey, how about we get married? You just jump straight to there, right? You don't try and buy them a drink. You don't try and be interested in them. You don't try and date. You don't try and have a relationship and develop that relationship. You just jump straight to, look, I've got an opportunity here. I'm just going to swing for the fences. And not only just purely from a conversion rate point of view, it's a dumb idea, right? It just doesn't work statistically. But also from let's go back and just be humans. And this is what I love about your approach is, let's just be humans and just see people. Don't see bags of money walking through the door, but see a person with a struggle, see a person who, we say this with your inquiries. Every time someone inquires, whether it's an email or a phone call or whatever, you hear that phone go off and you should stand up straight and think, holy shit, there's someone at the other end of this phone who wants to change their life. They have no idea what they're in for. They have no idea how great this is going to be and how much this is going to affect their well-being and their health and their life. And they want to do it here. They want to give us that responsibility and they want to pay us for it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this is amazing. And then approach it that way. Approach it, we're lucky to have this, and I'm going to build this as a relationship. But again, desperation makes cowards of us all. And so many people, they get into that position where they just see that lead as something to be closed, instead of seeing that as a person who has come to you for help. And everyone starts out like this. And I think just so many business owners, when they get desperate, when times get tough, they lose their way a little bit.
Yeah, and entrepreneurship is really a mindset game, and you want to be in a position where you have high intention, because you truly want to change their lives, their body and their lives, because it's not about the body transformation actually, it's more about the life transformation that they get from that body transformation.
Yeah.
So you truly care about changing their lives, high intention, but you have a low attachment to the outcome, a low attachment to the money they're gonna give you. So that's why you want to come from a place of love, a place of concern, a place of care. And if you really can come from that place, you're not gonna have commission breasts where you're gonna be like, hey, let's, like you were mentioning, let's get married or let's have sex, like, oh, whoa, easy here, You want to be in a place where you're like, hey, I'm here to guide you. I'm not your hero. You're not a victim. I'm not a hero. I'm not here to save you. You are the freaking hero, and I see that in you, and I'm just going to be your guide for you to be the higher version of yourself.
I love that, man. I'm not your hero. You are the hero. That's amazing. And by the way, anyone who's listening to this, I can totally imagine that there's some people listening to this right now and thinking, oh man, I thought I was going to hear about that magic button on Facebook that I didn't know about, that if I just press, it'll bring me more members. What we're talking about here, guys, I know it's conceptual, but it's so much more valuable because as Remy said, this is a mindset game. If you can't get your mind right, all of the tactics in the world, right? The what to press, how to do it, what to say, all of that stuff, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And I would say the other way around. The more you can get your mindset right, the less those tactics matter. It's if you can have that passion and have those ethics and understand your position in your members' world and treat them with that respect, there's a million ways to skin this cat. There's a million ways, whether it's doing, a Facebook ad campaign, or whether it's putting yourself out on Instagram, or whether it's face-to-face going and seeing other businesses, or your referral program, or like whatever your marketing or member acquisition process is. If you're not coming at it from this angle that Remy's talking about now, from this point of, again, I love that you've gone deep with the word love, this point of love, it's just not going to work, or it'll work temporarily.
Yeah, it's not going to be sustainable. Yeah. And at the end of the day, people buy three things. They don't buy your nice kettlebells. They don't buy the nice showers that you have at your gym. They don't buy the nice toilet paper that you have at your gym. They don't buy that.
Yeah.
They buy you first. You gotta be a cool gym owner. Your coaches have to be cool. They buy you and your coaches, right?
Yeah.
They buy the results that you can provide, the outcome, the body transformation and the life transformation.
Yeah.
And they buy the fun. Yeah. If you can, if you have the people skills and you can connect with them, if you can provide them with an outcome, a result, and if they can get that result while having fun, that's it.
Beautiful.
If you have the three things, then you just show that in your marketing. That's what you show. You show the results, you show the fun, you show that you're a cool gym owner, you show that your coaches are cool. You just show the truth, right?
Yeah. Beautiful, man. I love that so much. And it's so true, because people get so caught up with, comparing the Joneses, like keeping up with the Joneses. Sorry. So like, what's the gym down the road doing? Or they have a better this or a bigger that, or they have more air dynes, or who gives a fuck, right? Like how, or they go the other way and they go, well, people are coming to us because we have the only level 4,000 weightlifting coaches around, or we have more people that go to the games, or all this other shit that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, because the truth is that, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right, please.
The truth is that if you only count on your CrossFit athletes, the ones that are going to compete, well, how many, what's the percentage of the population that are actually real athletes in their mind, that are like type A and they go for it? 5, 10%?
Maybe.
And actually, maybe, right? If you're lucky, I would say 5%. So if you only count on those guys, well, you don't have you have a bunch of athletes, but you also have 30, 40, 50 members at your gym. Actually, you need to be helping the ones that truly need you, the ones that didn't work out for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, the ones that are getting fat, the ones that are getting obese, the ones that are, having diabetes, the ones that have, maybe heart attack risk, right?
Yeah.
So your goal is just to inspire them, motivate them to finally come at the gym, you just inspire them.
Absolutely. I say this all the time, like, guys, remember, I know it's exciting. I know as a coach, it's exciting to coach an elite level athlete, right? You get to work your coaching muscles on those people, right? And I know at the same time, after you've been doing this, I've been coaching for 17 years. I get the idea of thinking, man, if I've got to teach one more fucking air squat, I understand that kind of dichotomy in our brain, but never forget why you started this, right? Never forget that good place that you came from where you thought, man, I'm going to fucking change the world, right? And now understand that if your box closes tomorrow, all of your athletes, your 1%, they just go to another gym. Their life doesn't change, right? Yes, they might love where you're at, but their priority is results and training, and they can get that at another gym, right? So if you close tomorrow, they're fine. But if you close tomorrow, that bottom, 10, 20% of your members, those people who it took them a decade to get off their couch, to get off their blood pressure medication, to actually change their life, they're going back to the couch, right?
Yeah.
And if we really want to get real about this, they're going to die 5 years earlier than they would have if you didn't close, right?
Yeah.
So not that I'm trying to put that responsibility on you, but you need to understand who needs you. Yeah. I know it feels sexy to have these athletes, and look, all it is, for the most part, it's just coaches wanting to live vicariously through their athletes, right? If that athlete is good at what they do, then I must be good at what I do, right? It's an external validation, right? Don't focus on them. Focus on the people. If you've got members who are getting off the couch, who are playing with their kids again, who are getting off medication, who are extending their life in a very real way, now you're good at what you do. Yeah. So just remember that when it comes to who you're trying to fill your gym with, it's not just about the business side of things. There is a real impact we can have to people's lives, and it's not the athletes. The athletes will be fine if you close tomorrow. They don't need you.
Yeah. And so with your marketing, you don't want to show your athletes doing like handstand push-ups or muscle ups or lifting like crazy heavy barbells. You actually want to show the results. You want to show the fun. And if you show some footages where people are working out, you don't want it to be too intimidating. Your goal is to attract people. And sure, CrossFit is forging elite fitness, right? But you can forge it from the beginning, from like the couch, right? From people that are not actually healthy, not fit. And then you forge them. You don't need them to be already fit to make them even fitter. They can start from the very beginning, and then you forge them to elite fitness, right?
Absolutely, man. I love it. I love
it. So, we were speaking about coming from a place of love, concern, and care. Having high intention, low attachment. The high intention is because if you don't enroll them into your gym, into your program, well, maybe 6 months later, it's a heart attack that they have. Maybe 6 months later, it's a divorce because, the husband feels that he's so fat, he's not feeling horny, he has low testosterone. The wife doesn't want to be intimate with the guy. Well, maybe that's a divorce, and maybe they have 3 kids, and now it's a broken family. So that's the kind of high intention I'm speaking about. You don't want to see the money associated to with that client. You want to see, well, I'm gonna change a family. I'm gonna save a family here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't acknowledge this, not because they don't know it. I think everyone knows it deep down. If you really explore that part of your responsibilities, everyone understands it. I think the reason that people don't acknowledge it more is because that's a big responsibility. And a lot of us don't want that responsibility. We don't like the idea that people's, a portion of people's lives are in our hands, that we can have that effect. A lot of us just kind of want to get on with life and oh no, we're just having fun. We're just lifting weights. And we are, and that's great. But there's also a lot bigger effect that we can have on people, and that makes box owners and coaches uncomfortable sometimes, and it shouldn't. It should empower you. It should, you should wake up in the morning and thank the lucky stars, thank whatever God that you thank to, that you have this opportunity to have that impact in people's lives.
Yeah, and actually the best marketing secret, I said that it was love, or it can be like care. You just need to show them that you actually care. You show them that you care with your marketing, with your offer. You show them that you care because you call them and you connect on a deeper level. You get to know them. So of course they're going to show up. Once they show up, they saw you on the video. They spoke with you on the phone. You take an hour for a one-on-one consultation with them. Well, now you have rapport. Now you can connect. Now you can tell them the truth. You can show them the truth. And well, if they see that truth, if they see that in 6 months, they might have a heart attack because they have 38% of body fat mass, or maybe they tell you during the consultation that, well, intimacy within the couple is not that great.
Yeah.
If they see that truth, they're gonna make a decision. They're gonna enroll. So it's more about caring than the color of the blue button on your ClickFunnels template. If it's red or blue or green, it's not that. It's you showing that you care. And it's not about the fact that you're using a 6-week challenge or 8-week challenge. It doesn't matter if it's 6 or 8 week or 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about you showing that you care.
Absolutely, man. I actually, literally, this is something that I've been banging on about for years. And, I see a lot of part of my job is to take complex ideas, to take these overall large concepts and to get them down into something bite-sized, right? Something that's very simple and something that almost a mantra that people can kind of can remind themselves of. And this was one of them. I've been saying forever that you have to care. It's not, by the way, it's not enough to care. You have to show that you care, right? You actually have to externalize that. People have to know it, and you have to, one thing that's very funny. I grew up in a very, Australia in general in the 80s and 90s, but also just my particular kind of upbringing in lower middle class was very masculine. Guys don't hug. You would never tell a friend that you love them, right? And you don't even really say thank you or that you appreciate people. Like that wasn't a manly thing to do growing up. And one of the things that I love seeing today is how much, we're able to express that and say, I appreciate you. And I try and say it to my team as much as possible, and even to clients. Like I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your trust. I love you. Hug it out, whatever. And that's what's important. Is every box owner I've ever talked to, when I question whether or not they care, obviously they do. But where is that care? Show me that care. It can't be in here. And so the literally on a flight home 2 days ago from New Zealand, I just kind of popped into my head, wear your care. Right? Wear it, put it on your sleeve, put it out into the world. Make sure that whatever you care about, everybody knows. Like I should be able to spend 5 minutes with you having a chat over coffee or a beer and know what you love and what you care about and what you're passionate about. And I think that's the problem. And I'm saying this because I know there's a lot of people right now listening to you that are nodding their heads going, yeah, I care. Yeah, I feel like that. I'm doing it right. If you're not showing it, if I can't see that care on, whether it's digital, whether on your website or on your Facebook page, or whether it's in real life, like I want to see how do you talk to your members? How do you talk to your staff just on a day-to-day basis? Can I see that care? Do I walk away from any 1 minute exposure with you or your brand, and I walk away going, man, they give a shit. They really care. And so I think that's a really important point, because I know there's a lot of people who are sitting there nodding, asking themselves, where's this magic secret sauce that Remy's meant to be teaching it? That's it. That's it. How you skin the cat doesn't matter, as long as it's an overt expression of you caring. And if you don't care, take a break. Get out of here. I get it. I've been in that position. You burn out. I many times over the years, I've just been in a zero fucks position where you have, what's worse than negative emotions towards, your members, your business, your staff, whatever, is just complete apathy, right? Where you just don't give a fuck anymore. And I've been there. And so that's a whole other different thing. But yeah, man, wear your care. I love that. That's awesome, buddy.
And so sometimes I see gym owners that actually don't really care. So those ones are not even invited into my program.
Right.
But
also,
also,
there's plenty of other guys out there. Tell them to go wear a mustache. I'll be fine.
But also I see some other gym owners that actually care a lot, but because they don't have the time to care, they don't have the systems, they don't have the team, they don't have the automation, they just can't. They don't have the time to do it. So that's why I would recommend a system like you have, so that at least you have the systems to free up your time, and now you have the time to show that you care.
Absolutely, man. I love it. I love it, man. Let's swing it around, and let's finish up on some. Let's get into the weeds on some practical stuff. So, we've talked a lot about the conceptual side of things. Marketing is one of those things. I stopped trying to be even anything close to an expert on Facebook marketing about 3 years ago, because it was a full-time job. It got to the point where I wasn't spending any time on anything else. I was spending every day reading articles and blogs and watching videos and podcasts on marketing, because every day it was changing. So what are you seeing from a very practical, in the weeds, press this button, say these words? What are you seeing that is working best right now for box owners in terms of expressing that care? How are people actually executing on these concepts we're talking about?
So sure, it starts from an ad, right? Either Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform. So here, you don't want to have like a spokesperson. You want to actually have a video of you that you record. So first step, you show that you care. And here I coach my clients on how to record the right kind of videos. We want to share stories, right? Either the gym owner story or other member stories. So we start like this. Then we want to either show some social proof. So here, well, you need to have a good gym so that you have that social proof. Before, after pictures, video testimonials. If you don't have a good gym, you're not going to have that marketing material, right? If you have a good gym, it's going to be easy for you to generate this marketing material. And then you want to be fast. As soon as they opt in, you want to be fast. So it's hard to be fast. So that's why it's a good idea to automate things. So for instance, there is a study that has been done saying that actually, if you can call your lead in less than 5 minutes after the lead generation, well, you have 60% of chance to speak with them. Because,
beautiful.
Think about it. They're just here on their couch. They're like scrolling with their thumb, on Facebook. If you call them in less than 5 minutes, well, they're still on Facebook or Instagram scrolling through their newsfeed, right? But now, if you wait 10 minutes, it's divided by 10. And so it means it's 6%.
Yeah.
If you wait half an hour, it's another time is divided by 10. So it means that now it's becoming 0.6%.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Speed is very important, but if you don't have the right system, so that at least you get a notification when you generate the lead and you can call. If you don't have that system, then it's going to be so hard to call in less than 5 minutes. And maybe also, well, sometimes you can't call in less than 5 minutes, but at least we can automate things, and at least we send them a text, right? At least a text has been sent. So I would say that the best combo is to have that mindset of loving, caring, and to have the right automations so that it's helping you doing it.
Absolutely. I think that's the other thing that people are missing out, man. And again, I don't want to jump back into the conceptual, because I know everyone watching right now is thinking, oh, thank God they're finally talking about what to do. But you've got to understand that we've actually stopped using the word marketing in our side of the business right now. When we're working with boxers, we used to say Tuesday is marketing day. We like to batch our work into days. And so we've stopped calling Tuesday marketing, and we've started to call it new member acquisition, because when people think marketing, their brain just stops at the ad, right? they just go, cool, it's marketing day, so put an ad out, or like whatever their lead generation tactic is, they stop there. But we've got to understand that it's a chain. And so, all right, you have the best ad in the world, but that ad drives people to the homepage on your website. You've just lost everyone. Okay, now you've got the best ad in the world, and that ad drives people to the best landing page in the world. Awesome. But then that landing page isn't followed up by you, right? There's no automation or there's no personal touch. You've just lost everybody. And again, then you've got all of those three in place, but your intro process sucks. You've just lost everyone. Now you've got all of that, but your on-ramps, I think a lot of people. So what I would say to people is, and this is why, again, this is why we're talking, this is why I didn't just fob you off as another bullshit marketing guru, is because it can't just be about the lead generation. It has to be about, number one, can they become a member? And number two, don't forget, can they become a member that I can keep? And so, I know it's a lot simpler for you guys watching to just think about this as, how do I run ads? But understand, look, if you, and from our point of view, from Rami and my own point of view, our job is to work backwards, right? So our job is to work from, okay, firstly, do you have great classes that are going to keep people? Do you have good retention strategies? And then we go back a step. Okay, now do you have a good on-ramp program that's going to educate people, set them up for success, lower the first 60-day cancellation, go back a step. And the last step that we work on is the marketing. It was what you would traditionally call marketing, which is the ads and the lead generation and all that kind of stuff. So just understand that, guys, is if you're working with someone who, cares about your business and is going to do things the right way, we're going to do it back to front from the way that you're thinking of it, right? Because you're going to think of it in a chronological time point, right? Where it's going to be the lead generation first. But for us, that first lead generation, that ad, or whether it's a face-to-face, right? You're doing barbells and beers event in your gym, or you're going out to speak to a company or a church or a sports team or something. None of that lead generation matters if the rest of the links in the chain aren't solid. And so when it comes to our priority for working with you guys, or your own priority for fixing this yourself, you've got to flip it. You've got to reverse engineer back to the last point, being that marketing.
Yeah, and so here, that's why I'm really happy to be live today. It's because I know that people watching the live today, worked with you already. So they must be ready for a client acquisition system. If you're not ready, I don't even invite you.
Yeah, good. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I love it, man. So let's get back into the weeds a little bit. I want to talk about something that is being very interesting to me, because I have a kind of a magnanimous relationship with Facebook as an example. I love Facebook from a business point of view. We track how much money we're making from different sources, and the majority of my money over the last 6 years has been, or even before that, has been made through Facebook, right? From a personal point of view, I hate Facebook. I had to re-download the app onto my phone today so that we could have this call. I don't have it on my phone. I think it's a vile, disgusting place to be. But I understand that it's a great place to make money. Now, the flip side is I love Instagram. I'm very embarrassed by how much time I spend each day on Instagram. Any idle moment is usually on Instagram for me, right? But it's always, from a marketing point of view, being the weaker place to market. Now, what I've seen personally, and I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on this, is in the last 6 months or so, maybe a little bit more, the script has kind of flipped a little bit. I don't think Instagram is a bit easier to market on, but it's it can't be traditional marketing, not just ads and stuff like that. It needs to be more of what we're talking about, which is caring and creating relationships. I think it's a lot easier, and this is just my personal thing, to create those relationships and to get in touch with people through Instagram. But what is definitely sure is it's gotten harder on Facebook. Not impossible, and that's why I think people need someone like you. That's why we're talking, because I think Facebook isn't the low-hanging fruit that it once was, where anyone can just have a crack. And back in the day, you could put out the worst ad possible and you'd get members. Now it's a lot harder. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Facebook versus Instagram, and kind of where, obviously they're different tools for different purposes, but where are you seeing results and how right now with Boxsters?
Yeah, so first, it's true that five years ago, it was much easier to market, right? You could have a low barrier offer. It was great because it was costing you cents to market. And even if you have a low barrier offer, well, you were able to make your money back. You were able to be profitable. Now, the costs of the ads are much more expensive. Yeah. So actually, low barriers offer, you might just break even or lose money, and then you need to wait until they pay you for the second month, the second membership or the third membership to be profitable. So at Max Out Gym, we like to use high ticket offers, high result offers, where at least you have more margin to be profitable right away. So that's the first thing. And then for the difference between Facebook and Instagram, well, here you can try to guess, but it's hard to guess. So what we do usually is that we would maybe test 12 videos. Yeah. Maybe one video is with a member that is 55 years old. Another video is with a member that is 19 years old. Right? Yeah. You spend some money, and now you look at the results, the metrics that Facebook provides in the Facebook Ad Manager. And you can look at the age. You can look at if they are female or male. You can look at the placement. And you can combine all those metrics, and then you can be like, that video with the 19 years old guy, well, it's working really well for people between 18 to 25. And it's working really well on Instagram. Why? Because young people are on Instagram. But then you do the same exercise for the guy that is 55 years old, and now you're like, actually, Facebook is better, right, and male is better because it was a guy that you are interviewing, and the age range is between 45 to 55, 45 to 55. And actually, it's much better to do it this way. So sometimes you can try to guess before, spending some money and then looking at the metrics. But that's what I would recommend, because sometimes you might think that, you're interviewing a female that is, let's say, 27. And you might be like, well, it's going to work really well for female that are between 25 to 35. And actually, you test, and actually, you get very cheap leads with guys. Why? Yeah, right. because maybe that girl is pretty hot, and people are opting in. So it's good to guess, but actually it's much better to actually spend, let's say, $20-30 on that video, and then you optimize.
I think I'm glad you brought this up, because this is something that a lot of box owners miss. Is there's two sides to this. Number one, a lot of box owners don't want to treat marketing like a skill, right? Which is exactly what it is. It's a skill that takes time, that you have to learn, and the only way that you learn and you get better is by practicing. But number two, box owners don't understand that they already have the right mentality for this kind of stuff, right? So if you had if as a coach, you'd never had to work with a specific kind of athlete, like a cyclist, right? And so you didn't really know how to program for a cyclist. You would do exactly what we're talking about, right? You would go, okay, cool. Let's try absolute strength. Let's see if absolute strength has an effect on their lap times or whatever it is that they're measuring. And so you would do a period of strength training, And then you would go out and you would test that and you would see what works. And okay, it worked here, but not here. Okay, now let's try, muscular endurance. And let's do that for X weeks and see how that goes. And you would test and adjust, and you let the data run your programming, right? And that's, everyone watching this right now is going, yeah, the obvious, Tye, fucking get to the point. The point is, why aren't we doing that with other parts of our business, whether it's marketing or retention or utilization of space and profitability and average client value and everything else? A/B test it, understand the value of putting in a small amount of effort, or in this case, putting a small amount of money in and putting it out to the world and just seeing what works, instead of I've been doing this a long time. I'm certainly no marketing expert, but I'm still wrong 50% of the time when I make a guess about what's going to work and what isn't, without, in a market I've never tried before. And I'm sure for you, it's the same. As a legit expert, you're still wrong a lot of the time. You just have no idea. So put some money into it and test it and track it. Actually track it. Use the data. As a coach, you know the value of data. You know that if you have no data, you have no right making a decision. It's the same thing in business, and in this case, in marketing as well, for sure, man.
Yeah, because you can try your best, but you don't really actually know how the market is going to react. One day, one of my clients was wearing like a very, very funny costume, right?
Right.
Well, it was like almost like a balloon on his head that was pink and huge on his head. It was like so random and so weird. Yeah. I was like, hey, you know what? I never tested that. I never tested the huge balloon on your face. But test it and let's see. Yeah. He tested it and then he got cheap leads out of it because it was just funny. So sometimes you just gotta try and see how it performs. And then you either you kill the ad, or you optimize the targeting, or you boost that ad, because now you're getting very cheap cost per lead.
Exactly. I love it, man. I love it. And I noticed that you keep saying videos, right? This is something I think, and let me know your thoughts, but I think we're at a point now where we can just say, you know what, in terms of your content, videos, especially if you don't have a lot of time, right? If you've got all the time in the world and you want to do images and Canva images or Photoshopped images, and you want to do articles and blogs, and you want to do long form post and all that stuff, sure. But would you agree that if there's one content creation skill that's going to lead to good marketing for box owners, it would be learning how to do videos?
Previously I said people buy you, people buy the results, and people buy the fun, and I say it in this order, right? First, people buy you. So you gotta show your prospects that you are cool. How do you show that you are cool if you only have a picture? You don't really show that.
Right.
Here, I'm just looking at my computer. 7% of the communication is through words. So if you count on the picture and an ad copy, well, you're only counting on 7% of the communication.
Right.
38% of communication is through voice and the tone of the voice. Yeah. And then 55% of communication is through your body language. So if you don't use video, well, you forget about the 55% and you forget about the 38%. So it means that you're only counting on 7%. And you forget about 93% of communication.
Right.
Well, that's a bummer,
Sure.
You want to actually transfer your certainty that you are actually able to transform bodies, transform lives. And I believe that video is the best way to do it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I believe in it so strongly. And I know there's a lot of people right now that are probably watching this and thinking, oh, but I don't like video, or I don't know how, or and again, everyone in this group has worked with me in some way, shape, or form, and every one of you will have been taught our 3 basic rules for creating great videos. But one thing that I would encourage people to do, just to get you comfortable in front of the camera, is Instagram stories. Is purely just to get used to looking into a lens or a camera and talking, and also coming up with concise thoughts. I love Instagram stories because you have to take your ramblings, right, and you have to compress them down into little 15-second bites of actual usable, comprehensible information. And so if anyone's watching this and you think, oh, I'm not comfortable, in front of the camera, cool. Obviously, you don't have to be the one in front of the camera. We've talked about member stories, and I think if there's only one bit of content that you ever create in your life, member stories is it. But if you're uncomfortable in front of the camera, do some Instagram stories. Put yourself out there. And when people say, "What should I put on my Instagram stories?" Stories. Tell stories. Tell your background. Get your coaches to tell a background. Show what you're eating that day and why, not just for the fun of it. Show what's in your gym bag. Get one of your members to just explain how they found CrossFit, why it was scary, and why they realized that it wasn't, and what they've achieved and how they've changed, and all this beautiful stuff. But yeah, man, I'm with you on videos. 100%.
I would say it's mandatory. You have to learn that skill. People buy you, people buy the results, people buy the fun. If you only count on your member testimonials, sure, you're going to show the results. But now you don't show that you're cool, you don't show you, right? And also you don't show the fun. But now let's say that the member is with you and you have a 1-minute interview. Hey, Samantha, what were your results here, with the challenge that we just did, or with, since you joined us? I lost 32 pounds in 12 weeks. Wow, amazing. High five. Boom. Yeah. The high five was the fun. Now she has a huge smile. And now we can see the relationship between the gym owner or the coach and the clients. So now it's not just about results, it's results and fun. And also, if you are able to communicate properly, you have a nice smile, we like your tone of voice, we like your body language, well, now we get to like you too. And also at the end of the video, now you have the opportunity of being like, if you want this kind of result, well, just click the link below. Now you can have a call to action. If you only count on a member testimonial, it's good, but it's not good enough. So I would say this is very mandatory. Practice, 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 practice. And also that's why, I provide one-on-one consulting within my program. It's not like I just have an online course and I'm like, hey, here are some good examples. Just try to model this. No. I'm like, here are some good examples. Now send me your video. And then I'm like, you forgot this, you forgot this, you forgot this. Second batch.
Absolutely.
Much better, but you forgot the call to action. Okay. Third batch. Oh, now the script is good, but for some reasons your energy levels are not that good. Are you tired today? Let's record again. And then fourth batch, and now I'm like, okay, now it's good. Record more of those kind of videos.
Beautiful, man. Well, let's talk about that. Let's wrap it up and really quickly talk about. So hopefully there's a bunch of people watching now that are thinking, this is cool. This sounds good. Again, hopefully exactly like what we're talking about. Hopefully they're seeing you and feeling rapport or connection with you and your belief system and you're obviously a fun guy yourself. So how do people work with you? What's the program look like? I come to you and I say, Remy, I saw you on the live. It sounds awesome, buddy. Obviously, what you do gets results. What do we do? Where do we go from here?
Yeah. So first, let me just explain what I provide. So it's 3 months of one-on-one consulting, because I believe that, sure, I could give you an online course, but you wouldn't get that intimacy with me. You wouldn't get the feedback, and that wouldn't be enough. So it's 3 months of one-on-one consulting. It means that it's very, very hands-on. You can send me your videos, or you can record your calls with your leads. Or I could look at your Facebook Messenger conversations and see if you're like, let's have sex or not, like too soon.
Hopefully not literally saying that to people.
No, but like when I mean let's have sex, it's like, hey, let's schedule a consultation, or let's schedule now, or hey, easy, let's get to know them first. So I would look at the Messenger conversations or the SMS, text message conversations. Also, I could watch your consultations. You can record your consultations. Well, I'm gonna watch the consultations and see if you are able to build rapport, if you are able to show them the freaking painful truth so that they see finally that truth, that they need to make a change. So it's very, very hands-on. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of feedback.
Yep.
So
Beautiful.
one-on-one consulting, I do have an online course for you to get the minimal knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I also develop internally my own tools, my own CRM, my own SMS chatbot, my own Facebook Messenger chatbot that is actually connected to artificial intelligence, that is also connected to your calendar. So actually, the AI is going to ask questions, build rapport. If the prospect has a question, like, what's the price? The AI understands the question, provides an answer about the price. What's the location? We provide the location. Do you have childcare? We tell them if we have childcare or not. And so then we have that conversation. And then once we build rapport, once the AI builds rapport, we are connected to our calendar. And then the AI can be like, hey, I'm available tonight at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., or tomorrow at 10, 11, 5, and 6. When would you like to come in? Then the prospect says, okay, today at 6. All right, let me schedule you. What's your phone number? The first name, the last name, we already have it because we get it from Facebook. And boom, we schedule them within the messenger conversation without sending them to actually a link for them to schedule, without sending them to a calendar. It stays within Facebook. And now we schedule them. Actually, the gym owner doesn't even have to handle the conversation. Of course, it's even better if the gym owner can take over manually, because, I mean, you're always going to do a better job as a human compared to artificial intelligence. I recommend that gym owners take over. But if, I don't know, they are busy already because they are on a consultation, at least the AI got their back. So one-on-one consultation, one-on-one consulting, online course, the tools that we develop, and we invest a lot on those tools, and also group coaching calls. We have a group coaching call once a week. We had one today. It's every Tuesdays at 1 p.m. CST. And here I am the leader of the call, but also we have so many gym owners that join the call and I let them speak. And sometimes, a gym owner might be like, hey, Remy said that during the previous coaching call. Here's how I execute on it. Oh yeah, good idea. And here's how I do it. Oh yeah. And boom, then they combine their ideas. And then, sure, I'm the leader of the call, but also the value comes from the gym owners themselves. And also, we have mindset coaching. I have a mindset coach because I believe that actually mindset is the most important thing. So within my online course, well, we start with mindset. Right away, you have a call with my mindset coach, right? So one-on-one consulting, online course, tools, group coaching calls, and mindset coaching. And I believe that, I don't know, I can't think about anything else I could add to my program to make it even better.
That's pretty amazing, man. That's amazing. I love it, dude. So I'm sure there's a bunch of people watching right now, either live or on the replay, that are thinking, hey, this is awesome. I think this is for me. I think, I like what Remy's talking about. Who is the person that should reach out to you right now? Because like you said, this isn't for everybody. You've got to be a certain type of person in a certain type of place. Who should reach out to you and shoot you a message or an email and get in touch?
Well, if I ask you, how good is your delivery? I want to hear 10 or 11 or 12, or, I want you to have a good delivery, because my program is only going to magnify the truth. If you tell me that your delivery is a 5, a 6, or a 7, I'm like, okay, well, have some one-on-one calls with Tye, fix that, and then you're going to come back to me. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is like, can you handle 5, 6, 7, 8 consultations, free one-on-one consultations per day? Do you have the team for that? If yes, then I believe that you're ready, and then we're going to really max out your gym.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Remy, thank you so much, buddy. This has been awesome. Look, guys, I have a page and a half full of notes here myself. Hopefully, you guys watching, by the way, don't just watch this. Don't just sit there and passively listen to it. Don't let this be just another cool Facebook Live or webinar that you listen to. Sit down, get a pen and paper, write it. Even if you never work with myself or Remy in person on this, there is so much just in this. What has it been? 1 hour and 10 minutes so far that you can go away and execute, right? And remember, you don't get points for ideas, right? You only win on the execution, on the actual doing of stuff. So, guys, there's so much valuable stuff here that I really want you guys to go away. If you're in a position where you think you're the kind of person Remy just described, and you want help with getting more members, and you want to actually be educated, because I think this is important to note, Remy, that you're not going out there and doing all this stuff for people. You're educating them to do it themselves, right? You're teaching them how to fish, not just feeding them fish. So once they've done this, they don't need to keep coming back to you every time they want to grow this business or even grow other businesses in the future, right?
Yeah, it's not done for you, it's done with you, so you're not going to be alone. You're still going to be surrounded by other gym owners that are going to be able to help you. You know, we have a Facebook group where people are asking questions. They help each other. I'm here, I have my team, so you're not going to be alone. But you learn the skills, and then, you know, 3 months later, you're completely independent. You know, you don't need me anymore. You stop paying me. It's not like I'm going to charge you a monthly recurring fee.
Right.
You get an MBA for marketing and sales, and then you have that forever. I keep updating my course. I keep updating my tools. You still keep access to the group coaching calls. You're set. You just get your degree, your MBA, right? And then you have it for life.
I love it, man. I love it. It's something, again, those who've worked with me for a while know that there's not many, I can count on not even one hand, on a couple of fingers, the amount of companies and other service providers that I would allow to do this kind of thing, that I would recommend. There's only 2 or 3 others. So, guys, take that for what it's worth. If you're in a position where you think that you meet those kind of prerequisites that Remy just talked about, and you want to grow your gym, definitely get in touch with him. I highly, and by the way, let's be really clear about this, Remy. I get nothing from you, correct? We have no financial relationship. There is no scratching backs. You don't give me a split of any of these people who come to you.
Nope.
There's no other motivation, guys, for me to tell you to talk to Remy other than it's something I believe in.
When we spoke a week ago, I was like, hey, I do have an affiliate program. Tye told me, well, you know what you do with it? Either you give it to charity or you give a discount to the clients. I would love to give you a discount if you come from Tye, because I know that you're ready. I know that you're going to crush it. I know that you have the systems. I know that you have the automations. I know that you have the team already that is set up. I would love to give you, actually, the commission that I would give it to you. Yeah, I'm not going to give any money to Tye. I would love to give you a discount instead.
Beautiful. Love it, guys. Love it. All right. And if you're not in a position yet where you meet those prerequisites, guys, get to work. We've obviously worked together. That's why you're in the group. I've given you the tools to do it. Again, if you want, as always, if you want more help with any specific part, I'm always here for you guys. The team's here for you guys. If you want to dive a little bit deeper, we can do some one-on-one stuff. I'm always available for that. But guys, thank you so much to those who have watched and have stuck around. Remy, thank you so much for jumping in, buddy. Hopefully this is the first of many chats that we can bring and value we can bring to this group. It's amazing, man. I've really enjoyed it, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I feel that we really align on our values. I feel that our programs are very complementary. And actually, I have some clients that are your clients too. And what they say is that, well, that's the perfect combo. Right? Both programs are very complementary, and I'm sure that if you work with Tye and if you work with Max Out Your Gym, you have all the tools that you need in order to crush it.
I agree. I agree, buddy.
And also, we are live. We're going live tomorrow on my group this time. So if you want to join my group, it's $1 Million Gym Secrets. You can just type on Facebook $1 Million Gym Secrets. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. And then I'm going to accept your request. We're going live tomorrow at 6 p.m. CST, same time.
Yep. Beautiful. Yeah. So guys, in this group, if you want to see, and by the way, tomorrow's discussion won't be the same as today's discussion. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff as well. So if you want another hour or whatever it's going to be tomorrow of intense value, jump into Remy's group, $1 Million Gym Secrets. It's a free group to jump into. So I highly recommend that as well. All right, brother. Yep. Remy, thank you so much, buddy. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
To everybody who's watching, thank you guys so much. If you've got any follow-up questions for Remy, please drop them in the comments below. I'm sure he'll monitor this and keep an eye out on it as well. If you've got any questions for me, same. Just make sure you tag us so that we actually see those in our busy notifications world. Yeah, besides that, guys, thank you all. Remy, thank you. People, thank you. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Cheers, buddy.
Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.